a joint venture with a company called COM21. So meaning they actually bidded the tender as a joint venture.
And is that evidenced in the documents that you have that have been supplied in response to the motion?
I'm not too sure, but I can confirm if that joint venture teaming agreement was actually inserted.
Okay. And when entities bid as a joint venture, how do you assess their eligibility?
Since, Chair, the law provides for companies to always team in case they want to increase their capacity in terms of qualification and experience, once there is a joint venture in such arrangements, we look at the qualification, the experience as a joint venture and not a single company.
There was the allegation again in respect of Velocity that certain payments had been made. Or certain payments had been made to Velocity irregularly. Have you seen those allegations?
Chair, I can confirm I've seen those allegations.
Right. What is your response to those allegations?
I can confirm, Chair, that it is absolutely false.
And how many contracts were they that were awarded to Velocity?
Chair, there were 2 contracts, one for performance management system and the other one for hospital management system.
Okay. There was evidence that was led yesterday that suggested that the entities were not the same. There was a difference in the spelling. They were similar but not the same. What is your response to that?
Chair, I can confirm I was here when those deliberations were taking on, and I can confirm as follows. The contractual company is Velocity. Velocity spelled as V-E-L-O-C-T-Y. If I'm to go back to yesterday's deliberation, the issue which was raised on the having 2 companies, one with the I and one with not, to the best of my knowledge, it was being pegged on a small typo which was in one of the paragraphs in the contract document. But if you look at the material statutory documents of the contract, is 1, an award letter, number 2, an acceptance letter, number 3, the contract agreement. If you look at all those 3 documents, it is Velocity with spelling V-E-L-O-C-T-Y. So I can confirm there is no 2 companies. Best of our knowledge, it is 1, and as I've explained.
Again, yesterday evidence was led to suggest that the
Council, is it possible we get copies of the award letters so that we ascertain? The award, you said the award letter, the contract, and
Yes.
the acceptance letter.
Yes.
So can you get the copies supplied to the honorable members?
Chairman, they are in the files that we have used in, or they're in the documents that we have filed in response. Perhaps what we can do, because these are properly filed and properly paginated, we can refer you to where the document is.
Kindly. Do you have the files, members?
Chairman, I have noticed the yellow light has come on. He has.
No.
We'll deal with that when the red one comes on.
I'm in control, don't worry.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that we move together, let's just have the documents first.
Thank you very much, Chairman. If you can perhaps, Carilas, put it on record where the documents are, which file and the document number.
Chair, once you get the files, each file we have attached a checklist which has all the documents we have submitted inside the file.
So which specific file are you referring to?
For tender number CGK ICT stroke 047 stroke 2017-2018, that is the file for the hospital management system. And the documents I've referred to are contained on the Annex 12M, 12N, and 12O.
12M to 12O.
Honorable members, are we on the same page? Not yet? If you can furnish the chair, we may proceed if we have a copy here.
Through the chair, I can confirm the next file is tender number CGK stroke ICT stroke 046. Sorry, let me rephrase again. Tender number CGK stroke ICT stroke OT stroke 046 stroke 2017-2018. Again, on the said file, the three documents are contained on Annex.
So is it 046 or 047?
046, sorry, is the tender for performance management software.
Okay.
046 is performance management software. 047 is hospital management software.
Okay, I have one for hospital management information system. I'll request for the other one, 46.
Chair, in 46, the three documents are contained in Annex 12N, 12O, and 12P.
Yeah, I think we are together. We may proceed.
Right, Carilas, please identify those two sets of documents again.
The two sets, Chair, are the tender number CGK stroke ICT stroke OT stroke 047 stroke 2017-2018 is the tender number for hospital management information systems.
Yeah.
Tender number
And also the other.
CGK stroke ICT stroke OT stroke 046 stroke 2017-2018 is the tender for performance management system.
Now, in the first document, you have identified it as 12M to 12O.
In 046, that is the hospital management system, it is 12M, 12N, 12O.
Okay. Now, what document is 12M?
12M is the notification of award.
And to whom is it made?
Chair, the award is made to Velocity, and Velocity spelled as VELOCTY.
What is document 12N?
Chair, I can confirm document 12N is the acceptance letter from the contractor, the consultant.
And who is it from?
It is from the company Velocity, again Velocity with VELOCTY.
12O?
12O, Chair, is the contract agreement signed by the county government of Kirinyaga
And?
Velocity Company, again VELOCTY.
Chairman, I plead for more time.
Yeah, your time is up, but considering that this is a crucial witness, and the county assembly had also requested for him to appear before them, I would maybe give more time. I would give both parties an extra 25 minutes, but I'll give you 15 minutes and then 10 minutes to the county assembly.
Thank you very much, Chairman. We will try and move on. Chairman and members, I hope you have been able to find the documents and that you have been able to go through them. In respect of the next set of documents, you had identified them as being marked as in respect of the PMS system?
In respect of the PMS system, in respect to the PMS system,
Yes.
Council just also advise, tell me if I'm correct, but it is 046, and the three documents are contained in Annex 12N, 12O, and written 12P.
And please identify what 12N, O, and P are.
12N is the copy of notification award to Velocity, again Velocity with CTY at the end.
12O,
12O is the acceptance letter from the said company, again Velocity with CTY at the end.
12P,
12P is the contract agreement signed by the county government of Kirinyaga and Velocity company, again with CTY at the end.
Okay. Now, I want you to look at the document marked as 12O, and 12O, we'll come back to 12P in a minute. 12O in the first file, in the HMIS file, and tell me whether the contract is signed on behalf of the county government.
Chair, I can confirm the contract is signed on behalf of the county government.
Who signed that contract on behalf of the county government?
Chair, the Chair, I can confirm the contract is signed by the accounting officer, who is the chief officer, finance.
And in the other file?
And yes,
Sorry?
and yes, I can confirm for tender number 046, signed by the accounting officer.
And the other tender?
The other tender, Chair, I can also confirm it was signed by the accounting officer.
Thank you very much. Now, I want us to move on to another area. And there was a suggestion by a witness who testified yesterday, I believe it was Dr. Agnes, that there was no need to buy some of this technology because it is technology that the national government already had and was available. What do you have to say about that?
Chair, I can respond as follows. I was here present when I heard that allegation, and to the best of my knowledge, actually it got me on utter shock. Because from what I heard from Dr. Agnes, if I heard well, she mentioned that the governor had told her that there was a system in the national government which is supposed to be rolled out to the entire 47 county governments. That system at that particular time, and I can confirm even today, currently, it is a matter which is even in litigation. So if, Chair, the issue of having a separate system came up because of such a system which we were expecting to get from the national government, then that's a bit unfortunate to mention that there were two systems. Being the Director of Supply Chain Management Services at the county government, I can confirm there is no parallel or separate HMS system in the county government. And even the issue of being activated, I heard it for the first time yesterday. I'm a procurement professional. Before I do any procurement, I know very well all the rules which are required for you to undertake a procurement. Again, I can confirm the requisition for that particular software came from the Department of Health. So if there were two parallel systems, then how comes there was there? And I also have made a confirmation to the best of my knowledge as the Director Supply Chain Management, before I went ahead and procured this system, I confirmed, even with the national government system, that we were not having any system in place.
You have said that the system that was possibly discussed between the governor and Dr. Agnes is now in litigation. Are you able to give the committee any more details, any more particulars? Who was the provider? What was it meant to do? What may have happened to it?
Chair, to the best of my knowledge, being the director again of the supply chain, when I was doing some due diligence about the said software, I can confirm to the best of my knowledge it's still a matter in the litigation.
Chair, we have an objection to that line of questioning. Unless the witness is capable of providing the information to us, and you can see it is not easy to conduct this trial without removing our hands from the precincts of the assembly and going for other evidence, like now the trial and the litigation is speaking about. We beg that we be provided with the requisite documents, the content of the trial, and the issue of dispute. But however, that answer has gone on record. It proves how difficult it is to conduct this trial without having to remove our hands from the only documents that we have. Council, I take it.
Mr. Nyamodi?
Mr. Karani will respond for us.
In brief response, it is an issue in the public domain because it is an issue that involved the national government when it was moving for a software to cover all the health centers in the country. And so he's commenting on something that this Senate already has judicial notice of, because it is one of the issues that have been interrogated by the National Assembly because of issues of accountability. So he's just confirming an issue that is in the public domain. And he's aware of it because of having had to interact with that issue when he was trying to bring up the new system.
I will guide as follows. I think we will allow the witness to comment generally on issues affecting procurement and issues that may help this committee make a determination on various issues. However, it will be upon the committee now to make a determination whether to admit or to consider whatever he's saying in our eventual report.
We are guided. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Guided, Chair.
Carilas, back to your testimony. It is alleged that the entity called Velocity Partners Limited does not exist. Have you come across that allegation?
Chair, I can confirm I came across that allegation, and I can confirm that Velocity Company, to the best of my knowledge, Velocity with CTY actually exists.
Is there any proof in the documents that you have supplied to the committee that that entity exists?
Chair, yes, there is a document to that effect, and that is the certificate of incorporation.
Where is that document to be found?
The document, confirm counsel, the
Yes.
document is found on the 046, that is the health management system file.
As document?
And I think it's the topmost document.
Are we together,
That
Chair?
file.
Have you been able to get your hands on that document? File 046, the first document. What is it marked as?
We don't have it. We don't have that
On
document.
47 or
Chair.
46?
46 or 47?
Chair, it is 47. I beg your pardon.
47, right?
Yes, yes, Chair. And it's on Annex 12Q.
Annex 12Q in the file for contract number 047.
Yeah, you're there? Is it 12? You said 12Q.
Yes, 12Q, Chair, on 047.
Okay.
Chairman, maybe what we can do to save on time is we can pull out a copy and give it to the committee.
I already have it. You may continue.
All right. So, Karilas, is there anything else in respect of the motion facing the governor that you wish to share with this committee?
Chair, sorry, Council, just refresh.
Anything else? Is there anything else that arises from your response that you wish to share with the committee?
On velocity?
Yes.
Chair, I would like to clear out a very important matter with regards to Velocity Company Limited on both tenders and the current status on each. If I may start with the performance management system, there is documents to show that actually the system was implemented. And those documents contain various supporting documents of minutes, registered sign, UATs, sign-offs, and even the final report for performance management system.
Do you have the documents here?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Karilas. Anything else, or you are done?
Then for the hospital management system, Chair, I can confirm that the system it still is on course of being implemented. And it got me by surprise when I heard that users weren't involved. The majority of people, the members of the testing in the UATs, that is the user acceptance test, are from the hospital. They are basically specialists at the Department of Health. So the system is still ongoing, and we are at the user acceptance testing 2, meaning the issue of 50 million, having awarded a company 24 million and pay 50 million, it's actually shocked me as a very serious professional in supply chain management, because that is practically not true, and we cannot do that. So I can confirm 50 million wasn't paid to Velocity on only one tender. And I can confirm hospital management system is still in course of implementation.
Thank you very much, Karilas. Chairman, that is all the examination in chief I have for this witness, and I wish to make the polite request that if I have any time left in the bank, I carry it over to his re-examination.
We will not be able to grant you that. I think we're done with the examination in chief. We will therefore invite Mr. Ndegwa, the council representing Kirinyaga County Assembly.
Mr. Karilas, good morning.
Chairman, maybe we could ask for some water for the witness.
Okay, there is water here.
Good morning, witness.
Good morning, Wakili.
You are a KIMS qualified procurement officer?
Yes, I am.
Do you have your current practice certificate?
I can
Do you have? I'm asking whether you have, not whether you can. Do you have it with you?
I can confirm I don't.
You don't have it. Good. I want to take you through the document that you referred to first, the list of the tenders that were chaired by Wayne, Yeshira, and Pauline. Do you have that document with you?
Let me get it.
Please do. Mindful of time. As you fetch that document,
Yes.
How many tenders took place in the year 2017-2018? In the entire county departments?
Council, I can not put an exact figure because this.
How many have you cited in your document for that year?
These are 12 committees.
Conveniently
and on-
cited, okay.
Yes. And let me make it clear that this
It's
was.
okay, I'm okay with the answer. You said that the head of department nominates the members of the evaluation committee, yes?
Yes.
Do you have a letter indicating the members of that particular evaluation committee being nominated by the user department?
For this particular tender, it was.
Do you have or you don't have?
I don't have, but
You
we
don't
had a
have.
conversation.
I take that. I want to take you through velocity, where the crux of the matter have, and I'm now dealing with velocity tender number 046. Kindly have your file with you. Mindful of time. I want you to open the contract that you gave. Yes? The contract, first pages.
Yes.
You have the contract, the first page of the contract?
Yes, I do.
The first page of the contract, not the last page. Fungo yo ingine. Aha. I'm reading it out for you. Senators, you're with me? You're with me, senators?
Yeah, Annex 12P.
Annex 12P.
Yes. Contract agreement between County Government of Kirinyaga and Velocity Partners.
Yes.
File 046.
I want to read it out to you, Kariras. Contract agreement between County Government of Kirinyaga and Velocity. What's the spelling of that Velocity?
Velocity with CTY at the end.
CTY at the end, right? Open the next page, Kaliras. Right? Read out the recital. This agreement, read it out.
This agreement made on the 14th day of May 2018 between the County Government of Kirinyaga, PO Box 260-10304 Kutus, located at the county headquarters, Kutus, hereinafter called the employer.
Yes. And
And on the other hand, Velocity.
Velocity. What is the spelling of that Velocity?
Velocity with CITY at the end.
That was just a clerical error, correct? Let's proceed to the execution. Execution of the agreement. Who has executed that agreement?
County Government of Kirinyaga and Velocity.
Yes? Which officer from the county government has executed it?
The accounting officer,
Which accounting officer? Which department?
Chief Officer, Finance, Economic Planning and ICT.
For purposes of clarification, Mr. Karilas, each department has its own accounting officer, correct?
To the best of my knowledge, Chair, that is not correct. We have only one.
I want to read out for you, and I want you to read section 46, subsection 2 of the Procurement Act, which you are an expert. Fish it out, section 46, subsection 2. Yes?
I'm there.
Kindly read it out for the senators.
Chair, it reads as follows. In establishing the ad hoc evaluation committee, referred to in subsection 1, the procuring entity, that is the state department or a county department, shall do so in consultation with the cabinet secretary or the county executive committee member responsible for that entity, as the case may be.
Did you consult the the CEC held during these processes?
I can confirm, yes.
Are you aware that she was there where you were seated yesterday and she confirmed in evidence and on oath that she was never involved? Let's move on. Which Velocity has executed this agreement? Velocity with this CITY or the other one?
To the best of my knowledge, with CTY.
Good. Move with me to the document establishing or communicating to you about the evaluation committee. Kindly, on the same file.
Cancel which one?
Yes?
Which one, to be specific? Which file?
Are you talking about the ad hoc tender evaluation committee?
Yes, the ad
appointment
hoc
summary?
tender committee.
I think it's on page 55, the submission by Honorable Anne Waiguru.
Yes?
Page
Do you have it,
55.
Karilas, with you?
Yes, I have it.
Yes?
Yes, cancel. I have it.
Who are the members of the tender committees in that particular tender?
Through the chair, council, let me confirm to you, these are chairpersons.
Who are the
Chairpersons.
who is the chair of that tender committee? Are you looking at the same document that I'm looking at?
Please clarify, because I'm on the table of summary of appointments of various.
Okay, I'll come to that later then. Move with me on the same file. Please don't leave that file at annexure 12G. Please keep on holding that file. It's very important. Annexure 12G.
Through chair, which file, council? 47 or
046. 046.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yes,
I'm looking at the document of the tender opening committee. Do you have it with you, the minutes? 12G. The minutes. 12G, Karilas. You are very expedient when you are dealing in chief.
I'm there, council.
Chairman, if council could stop badgering the witness.
Look at that tender opening committee. Yes, the next page. Entry number 4. No, you've gone mbali sana. Karilas, let me share with you mine.
Mr. Ndegwa, this committee is guided by our standing orders, which
Yes.
say that we shall only use either English or Swahili and or Kenyan Sign Language. So you'll choose to use one.
I'm well guided, I'll use English.
So don't mix. Huh?
I'll use English.
Yeah.
Karilas, are you at 12G? 12G is a copy of the tender opening committee minutes. Are you there, sir?
I'm there, council.
Would you kindly open with me the next page? You seem not be having it. I'll share with you. Kindly confirm that those are authentic opening tender committee meeting. Don't go further.
I can confirm, chair.
Kindly look at entry number 4.
Yes, I'm there, council.
Who is the person appearing on the opening date?
It is indicated velocity with an I.
Velocity with an I. Good. So at the time of opening the tender, Velocity with an I participated, correct? Yes, Karilas?
Chair, that is not correct.
Yes? Is that correct or not correct?
As per the
No,
indication.
no,
of
I'm
the-
asking you about the document I've shown you. Is that correct? Is that entry correct or not correct?
The entry correct, velocity
Good.
than
We
I.
move on. I now want to move you with you very fast to annexure number 12. 12I. It's a report of the technical evaluation report. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Senators, are you with me? Let's move on, Karilas. Next page. Kindly confirm that that is an authentic report.
12I is appointment of members of ad hoc.
On my file, 12I on 046.
Is it 12H or 12I?
There could be different, but what I'm referring to, Honorable Senators, is technical evaluation report.
Yeah.
On 046 tender. That's the document I think I'm looking at. No, Karilas, I am looking at this document.
I'm there, Council.
You are there with me? Let's move on. Kindly confirm that that's an authentic document indicating the evaluation of the companies that participated, correct?
It is correct.
Move with me to the next page again. Yes?
I'm there.
You go to the page written technical evaluation. Technical evaluation. Are you there? Technical evaluation, this one.
Oh, okay.
Technical evaluation, yeah?
Yes.
You're there? Kindly confirm to us the representation by B1, B2, B4, B5, B7. What do those represent?
Those represent the bidder numbers.
The bidder numbers. Kindly confirm to us that velocity or velocity is bidder number 4, B4.
Confirm it's bidder number 4.
That is correct. Move with me to that technical evaluation report. Are you there, sir?
Yes.
You don't seem to be.
I'm there. I'm there.
You're not on this page, sir. Good. Now read out to us the comments or the remarks, which begins with the bidders who met. Karilas,
I'm reading.
technical evaluation.
Bidders who met the mandatory requirements were subjected to a technical evaluation as set out in the tender document and scores awarded based on the bidder's qualification.
Yes.
Only bidders meeting a pass mark of 70% in this stage shall qualify for financial evaluation.
So velocity is in the technical evaluation because they met the previous requirements, correct?
Yes, correct.
Move with me to the place where, to the quorum written, specific experience of the firms, consultants related to the assignment.
I'm there.
You on that quorum?
Yes.
What score did bidder number 4 garner? There is a 5 indicated there, correct?
Yes.
What does that represent? Does it represent that the company has 5 years of experience?
No, it doesn't.
What does it represent?
But it represents marks.
It
is
represents
5
marks.
marks, yes.
But in which category of marks?
5 years and above.
5 years and above. Yes?
Yes.
When was the company incorporated? Just to recap, from you mentioned in chief, you said it was incorporated in 2017, correct?
Correct.
Good. We move on. Go to the last quorum, where it is written, attach a company profile and attach organogram, company profile, 2 marks, staff, employee. Yes, you've seen it?
Yes, I've seen it.
You're on that quorum?
Yes, I am concerned.
What is indicated on that quorum for velocity?
3 marks.
3 marks with an asterisk, correct? Asterisk, correct?
Yes, yes.
What does the asterisk represent?
I'm not sure, concerned.
You are not sure. Okay, just move on. Evidence of similar undertakings in institutions, at least 5 assignments. Again, on the same page, don't leave that page. There is a score of 6 with an asterisk, correct?
Yes.
What does asterisk represent?
I'm not sure.
Do the other companies have asterisks? Do they have asterisks, the other evaluations?
No.
They don't have. Move with me to the audited accounts for the last 3 years.
Yes?
I'm there.
Does the company score 3?
Yes.
For how many years of audited accounts?
3 marks, 1 mark per year.
Having provided 3 years experience, 3 years audited accounts, correct? Correct or not correct, Karilas?
It is only correct as a joint venture.
I am not asking about joint venture. I'll come to that. Is it correct or not correct that we are evaluating velocity and it has 3 years?
Yes, correct.
Correct. When was the company incorporated, just to recap?
20,
Yes?
let me confirm, 27,
2017, right? When was the tender bidded?
2018
2018. 3 years experience. Marvelous.
as a joint venture.
That's good mathematics. Now, Karilas, move with me to the next page. I want you to look at the comments on the bidder's responsiveness. Are you there?
Yes.
Read the comments.
On all or where can
Yeah, the following are some of the key explanations why the evaluated bidders were not awarded the maximum score of 100 marks at the detailed technical evaluation stage. Are you there?
I'm there, Council.
Kindly read how many companies, read number 1, number 2, and number 3.
But one is Parity Performance and Compliance Limited.
A company that bidded, yes?
Number 2 is Ubora.
No. Read the remarks. Why that company was not awarded 100 marks?
Submitted audited accounts for only 1 year. Work plan provided does not clearly define the timelines, partial understanding of the scope and interpretation of the TORs. No clear documentation on sustainability of the system and service.
That is why that company could not be awarded 100 marks, correct? From the procuring profession, correct?
To the best of my knowledge. Correct.
Marvelous. Number 2,
Ubora Systems and Solutions Limited.
yes. What are the remarks? Why it never garnered 100 marks?
No master's degree from the team lead.
Yes.
Relevant experience of less than 10 years. No proof of qualification and competence.
Now go to the 4th entry.
Velocity partner.
Velocity with what?
With an I.
VELOCTI at the evaluation, technical evaluation stage, correct?
Correct, Council.
Move on. What is the remarks?
Scope and specification will be fully understood during pilot stage or feasibility study phase.
Now, because I'm not a procurement professional, don't go to the next page. What does that remark mean?
To the best of I don't think Chair can comprehend this remark now at the moment. But
You will comprehend because it's your document.
okay. To the best of my
What does
knowledge,
that mean?
scope and specification will be fully understood during pilot stage or feasibility. I think I may want Chair to refer to the proposal submitted by the document to fully comprehend what.
Okay, and as a professional procurement officer, did you give your professional opinion?
Yes, I did, Chair.
We'll come to that. Just open the next page. The next one. It is annexure number 12H. 12H. Yes, you are on 12H. 12H is a document giving the appointment of the ad hoc committee. This document. Ad hoc committee. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Who is the chair of that committee?
Wayne Gishira,
What is his qualifications?
ICT advisor,
What is his position in that committee?
chairman.
Chairman of the committee. Let's move to the professional opinion. Appearing on annexure number M.
I'm there,
Are you there?
Yes.
But just before we go to that, Mr. Karilas, you said that who appointed that committee, the ad hoc committee?
The accounting officer,
Who is, in this case, who is the accounting officer?
chief officer.
Now look at the person who executed that letter. Who executed that letter? Who executed the appointment? Just go to the document. You are there? Who executed it?
The Chief Officer Finance.
The Chief
Officer
Finance. Yes? Are you aware of the provisions of the County Government Act, Section 47, subsection 3? Section 45? Can I read it out for you?
Please do, Council.
A county officer shall be responsible to the respective county executive committee member for the administration of the county department as provided under Section 46. Is it now clear to you who should be the appointing authority?
It is clear, Council.
Was there a CEO at that particular time of this tender? Was the chief officer present or was he not present at that particular tender?
I can confirm he was present.
He was present. Let's go to the professional opinion.
Mr. Ndegwa, you're remaining with 5 minutes.
Yes, but I have...
But as things unfold, I will give you an extra 5.
I seek your indulgence, Chair.
Thank you. I'll give
Opinion. Professional opinion. Did you give your professional opinion in respect of that tender?
Yes, I did.
What was your remark? Let's go to the professional opinion, which you own. It is dated 16th April, appearing on Annexure 12M, correct?
Correct.
The next page 2, entry number 4. Whom are you giving professional opinion about? Which company?
Velocity Partners Limited.
Velocity, which velocity?
Velocity with CTY at the end.
Velocity with CTY?
At the end.
No, you're not at the same page. I'm referring to annexure number 12M. Your professional opinion, unless you have 2.
Oh, okay, I'm there.
You are there? Entry number 4, page 2?
Yes.
Who is-
Velocity with an I.
With an I. And who bidded for the tender?
Velocity without an I.
And whose professional opinion is this? Whose professional opinion is this?
It is mine.
It is yours. Let's move on. Number 3, the last entry. The last page 4. Read your comments very fast.
In view of the above,
Yes?
the following is my recommendation.
Yes?
I concur with the evaluation, negotiation, and demonstration report, and hereby recommend velocity
With which?
CTY at the end.
Yes. At that particular time of giving your professional opinion, were you in possession of the documents relating to velocity, or you just give a professional opinion? Did you peruse the file relating to that document, that company?
I can confirm I did.
Did you confirm that the company was registered in 2017 and bidded in 2018?
Yes.
And then you went on to give a professional opinion in that respect and confirming that the company has experience of 5 years and 3 years audited accounts?
As a joint venture, yes.
Give us the joint venture agreement. Did you attach it in your agreement, in your documents? Did you attach it? Did you not attach?
It is not among these.
Has your professional opinion captured that scenario that it is bidded as a joint venture entity? Has it captured?
No, it doesn't.
Let's go on. Give me another file. 047. Do I take you through the same rigorous? 047, velocity. Look at the contract, sir. 047. Who is the contractor? Whom are you contracting?
That is an extra L.
Yes.
Yeah. Honorable members, are we there? Good.
I want us to be fast, Karillas, because of time. I have 2-3 more files here to question you on. Do you have the contract? I think mine is appearing as Z, or is it N?
The contract agreement, yes.
You got it? Very fast, who are the contracting entities?
The county government of Kenya.
And with who?
And with Velocity.
Velocity with which? With C?
With CTY.
CTY. And the representation of the contract represents CTY or CITY?
Represent CTY.
Read out contract, Harper, Karilas.
That one indicates Velocity with an I.
Good. And who executed that agreement?
The accounting officer.
And Velocity with the CTI or Velocity with the CTY?
Velocity with CTY.
How much money was paid for that contract?
I can confirm that because this contract is still
Okay.
ongoing.
Then let's go to annexure number H very fast, where we have the tender committee. Annexure H. Sorry, I. This is I. Annexure I. Annexure I, Karilas. Who chaired that tender committee? Here, Karilas.
Gishira,
Waiguru Kigeri-ini. Who appointed him?
accounting officer.
Accounting officer. Which accounting officer?
Chief officer of finance.
Chief officer finance. Let's go to the other. Confirm that this velocity is the same velocity that bidded in 046 tender.
It is the same.
It is the same velocity. I now take you to your other averments in your response, and I want you to take out the tender number, Riagishero Irrigation Water Project, tender number 039.
Do you have the files? Can you get the files?
039, Riagishero Irrigation Water Project. And also Southern Gariama, 2 files, Southern Gariama 036 and 039, for purpose of expediency. And 038, I'll only deal with those files. You're there, Karilas?
We do not have the files yet. Just give us time.
Zero 36, 038, 039.
So you want 3 files?
Yes, rating the same tender award.
Which one do you begin
I'll
with?
begin with 039.
039.
039. I'm just calling for them to be close. 039 tender.
Thank you.
Yes, 039, annexure H. 8H.
This is 39. We have 36 here. Excuse me.
39, 039 tender.
So do we have 039, honorable members? Okay, we may proceed.
With me at annexure H, 8H, which is a tender for the proposed, and it's written Agipo reserved. Yes, Senator?
We don't have 8H.
It's labeled as 8H. Labeling can be.
What is the title of the?
It's the title of the document, Mr. Chair, is the tender for the proposed water works for the irrigation of Riagashero.
Yes. We have it.
We're there. Page 2, Mr. Karilas. Let's go page 1. Are you there, Karilas?
Yes, I'm there.
Is that a specific tender reserved for a particular group?
Yes, it is.
Which group is reserved for it?
AGPO.
AGPO, yes?
Yes.
What are how do you determine whether a company is AGPO certified or not?
By a certificate.
By a certificate of?
AGPO.
AGPO. Who awards that certificate or issues that certificate?
The National Treasury.
The
National Treasury.
The National Treasury. Go with me to page 2. Entry number 2. Eva Trading Agencies Limited, yes?
Yes, Council.
It is indicated as AGPO certified, correct?
Correct.
Did you provide the AGPO certification?
Yes.
Kindly lead us to where it is in your file.
Chair.
First of all, before you say that, confirm that once you are AGPO certified, you must be issued with a certificate, correct?
I confirm that, Chair.
Marvelous. Let's move on.
Chair, through you, can I confirm where that document is?
Yes.
What we usually do, we get the proposal from the bidders. And the winning bidder, that forms part and parcel of the contract. So this document and all other relevant documents that the bidder submitted, it is in the contract document and that one can be availed.
The contract document with you, you knew it would be an issue of trial. Do you have AGPO certificate or you don't have AGPO certificates in your documents?
We confirm there is AGPO, women category AGPO certificate.
Please provide to us. We need it now, not tomorrow.
Chairman, if counsel was allowing the witness to answer questions, he was going to answer that question, and counsel told him, before you go there. So he must allow him an opportunity to answer questions.
Yeah. Counsel, you'll need to give the witness time to answer the questions.
I was only conscious of the time that is remaining, but let him answer.
You've known me as a generous chair, so you shouldn't be so worried.
We have enjoyed the generosity with the
Yes.
humility.
Your time is up, huh? But I will... how many more files do you want to interrogate?
I have about 4 more files, but remember, Chair, we had also summoned this witness. He's their witness and our witness.
I will... let's work with 10 minutes first. We see how it goes.
I will try to work with the scope.
Okay.
Karilas, I want you to provide me with a certificate of AGPO certification of this company.
Chair, it can be provided once I get the contract document for this.
What do you mean by contract document? The tender?
So, okay, the chair, the contract document I refer here is a well-bounded contract document which has the bidder proposal and the contract agreement form.
Let's move on. That, I take it you don't have it now, correct?
Correct, Council.
Move on to the members of the Tender Evaluation Committee, page 3.
I'm there, Council.
Who is the chair of that tender committee?
Pauline Kamau, Director Administration.
Pauline Kamau?
Yes.
Director?
Administration.
Administration. Now, move with me to the last page, page 9, where it is given a recommendation, correct? Page 9, recommendation. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm there, Council.
Kindly read it out.
From the foregoing evaluation, the evaluation committee recommends bidder number 2, that is Ever Trading Agency Limited, having submitted the lowest responsive evaluated bid, be considered for the award of the tender for the proposed waterworks for Yagasheru Water Project.
What is the cost?
At cost of 9,942,000 and...
Correct. Move on. Reading.
List of directors of Ever Trading Agency Limited.
Move on.
Mary Mumbi Gishobi,
Yes.
Kenyan by birth.
It's okay.
100 shares.
Yes.
Jackson Dadhi Gishobi,
Jackson Dadhi Geshobi. Yes.
Kenyan by birth, 100 shares.
Yes.
Evangeline Karia Nyaga,
Yes.
Kenyan by birth 200.
Yes.
Edwin Gishobi Ndathi,
Edwin Gishobi Ndadi.
Kenyan by birth 300.
You said you were here yesterday when evidence was being taken, correct?
Correct.
And you were there when the chief officer finance was testifying, correct?
Correct.
And you heard him saying that Edwin Gishobi Ndadi is his brother, correct?
Correct.
Good. Move on to the next file. Tender number 038. 038, again, it's a tender for Moya Makema Water Project. Honorable members, I'll be dealing with annexure number 7. That's where I'll begin. 7I.
Do we have 038?
I don't have chair.
We,
038. Karilas, we are not dealing with that file. We are dealing with this file. So I don't know what you're fetching from that file. As we have this, not
Again,
what
Chairman,
you have.
that and this only makes sense to somebody standing next to counsel.
yeah, I think you should furnish the witness with the correct file.
That, the ones that were filed, yes,
Yes.
that file.
Yeah, the chair has 038, so we may proceed.
Karilas again, move with me. Annexure number 7I, senators. Karilas, are you comfortable with the file?
Yes, Council.
Look at annexure number 7I. What is the presentation of that tender? What is the nature of that tender?
It is again a tender for waterworks and a reserve for Agbo.
Agipo reserved, yes. Entry number 2, tender opening results, correct?
Where, sorry, Council, where are you?
Senators, you're with me at annexure 7I. Annexure 7I. Karilas, you're there. That is your file. You know it better than I do.
I'm there, Council.
Are you with me at that particular page 2?
Yes, Council.
What is the presentation of page 2? That is table 1.
Tender opening results.
Tender opening results. What is the entry number 2?
Ever Trading.
Ever?
Ever Trading Agency Limited.
Ever Trading Agencies Limited. Correct?
Correct.
Move with me to issues of recommendation at page 9. And by the way, who is making these recommendations?
Evaluation Committee.
Evaluation Committee. Move with me to 6.0, recommendations.
I'm there, Council.
Yes. What is the representation of that recommendation?
In view of the above, I concur with the evaluation report and hereby recommend that Ms. Ever Trading Agency Limited be awarded the tender for proposed waterworks for Moya Makima Water Project, having submitted the lowest responsive evaluated bid of cash 3,552,910.
Read the representation in the list of directors of the company. Are they the same, the one that you've just read? Kindly confirm.
I confirm they are the same.
They are the same. Then confirm to me the tender evaluation committee, entry number 10, page 10, sorry. Of my interest is the chair of the committee.
I'm there, Council.
Yes? Who is the chair of that tender committee?
The chairperson is Pauline Kamau.
Yes? Pauline Kamau, correct?
Correct.
What is her designations?
In the
county government.
Director Administration.
Okay. Move with me. Take the motion. Okay. Let's move to the next file. That is tender 036, Honorable Senators. Again, it's South Ngariama Water Project. And 036, then we move to annexure number 9I.
I'm there, Council.
You there? Again, what is the nature of that tender?
Waterworks project again and reserved for Agbo.
Reserved for Agpo, correct?
Correct.
Go to page 2.
And there.
Yes. Are you looking at entry number 3 on table 1, tender opening?
I'm there.
Ever Trading Agencies Limited is there?
Yes, it is.
Look at page 3. Who chaired that committee?
Pauline Kamau.
Pauline Kamau, correct?
Correct.
Who are the directors of that company? Page 9.
Page 9 of
Of the same annexure.
9I.
Yes. Page 9, the annexure is 9I. Then that has a page 9 of the same annexure.
Chair, the annexure should be an evaluation report. That's what the council is.
Yes, the evaluation report.
The last page, page 6.
It is presented as this.
Yes, I'm there, council.
You're there. What is the recommendation of that evaluation committee?
From the foregoing evaluation, the evaluation committee recommends bidder number 3, Ever Trading Agencies Limited, having submitted the lowest responsive evaluated bid, be considered for the award of tender for proposed waterworks for South Ngariama Water Project
At what cost?
at a cost of 11,943,802.
Who are the directors of the company?
I can confirm the same as
Read them out.
Mary Mumbi, Kenyan by birth, 100. Jackson Daddy, Kenyan by birth, 100. Evangeline Wakaria, Kenyan by birth, 200. Edwin Gishobi, Kenyan by birth, 300.
The same directors, correct?
Correct.
Move on to annexure number, the same file. I'm not done. 9H. Tender Evaluation Committee. Appointment letter, right? It's a memo, internal memo, correct?
Correct.
Who is designated as the chair of the committee?
Pauline Kamau, the director administration.
Pauline Kamau. Who appointed Pauline Kamau?
The accounting officer.
Which
The
accounting
chief-
officer?
The chief officer of finance.
The witness we had yesterday, correct?
Correct.
Good. Senators, as I conclude, kindly move again with me to now tender number 013, 013.
Secretariat, kindly furnish us with the file, tender number 013.
And 037. 013 and 037 tenders.
Council, you will start with 013.
Yes, 013.
Kindly
I'll-
proceed.
We go to annexure 6I.
Titled,
Titled Tender for the Construction of Kagio Matatu Parking Phase 1, Lot 3 in Mutithi Ward.
okay.
Are you there, Karilas?
I'm there, council.
Yes? What is the nature of that tender? Senators, are you with me?
Yes, yes.
6I.
Mr. Ndego, your time is up.
I was only remaining with 2 files. If I may beseech the committee just to be kind with me, that I may make out this case for purpose of fact-finding.
Final additional 5 minutes, right?
I'll try to work within.
Try.
Karilas, 5 minutes to work out this. Are you on that tender?
Yes, I am.
Is that tender Nagipo reserved tender?
Yes, it is.
Move on to page 9, Tender Evaluation Committee. The same annexure.
I'm there.
Who is the chair of that committee?
Pauline Kamau.
Pauline Kamau. Move on to annexure H, 6H. The Tender Evaluation Committee, right? Who is the chair?
Pauline Kamau.
And who appointed Pauline Kamau?
The accounting officer, the chief officer.
The accounting officer?
Who is the chief officer of finance?
And which company was awarded that tender?
Tafis.
Yes?
Nitram Enterprises Limited.
Was it Agipo certified?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Knowledge or facts?
Facts, sorry.
Where is the certificate?
It is,
You don't have it, correct?
it is here under 6Q.
Under 6Q. Let's move on. During the appointment of that tender committee, was the Ministry of Water represented by Chief Officer? Was there a substantive chief officer to appoint the committee?
Yes, who is the accounting officer?
Good. Senators, I'm done with that file. Let's move on to tender number 037.
Senators, are we there? Is it supply and delivery of assorted UPVC pipes for Kenera water projects in Murunduko ward? Is it that?
Yes, move on. I specifically want to go to the question of who was awarded the tender from your document. Who was awarded the tender of that?
Hamfield Limited.
Confirm that it was an open tender.
I confirm it was an open tender.
Go to the certificate of incorporation of that company. You can guide us to the next year if you fish it out first.
Chair, I can confirm the certificate on incorporation should be on the bounded
No,
contract.
we have it. You have brought it. In it, or you don't have it?
I can confirm it is in the contract, bounded.
Did you know that we had issues of when the company was registered, when you were answering your response in respect to this tender? Were you aware or you were not aware?
I was aware.
Did you make any attempt to rebut that position that the company was registered?
Chairman, I think I want to object to that.
Yes.
Council is obviously fishing for evidence. And it is apparent that whatever evidence they have brought is deficient. And he should be discouraged from that fishing expedition. It is their petition. It is not that anybody knew anything.
I'll refer you to the motion, Chair, with your permission. Kindly look at the motion charging Governor Waiguru. You have responded and said that you looked at it, and you are here in her defense.
Mr. If we can respond to Mr. Nyamundi's request, huh? I think there is a thin line separating Mr. Otieno as a witness for Governor Anne Waiguru and as a witness summoned by this committee. So I think that is where we are having discrepancies. There's a very thin line. That's why we are treading on a very delicate balance. But we would maybe wish to allow him to complete, and then during your examination, you may want to align things according to your submission.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Well guided, Chair. Look at the motion, and most importantly, the charge containing that particular file. Do you have the motion with you?
Yes, I do.
Did you understand the content of the allegations?
Yes, I did.
Was it alive to you that we alleged that the company was incorporated on December 28th, 2017?
That's correct.
Did you have a duty of rebutting that preposition?
Chairman, again, in respect of that allegation, there's no evidence.
And so, why don't you allow me?
In respect of that allegation, there is no evidence, and he must stop.
And so, don't protect the witness. He is also my witness. I made application for this witness
Chairman,
to be brought.
he was summoned with a specific request to produce specific documents.
And he's on cross-examination. And he has the motion with him.
Mr. Ndegwa, want to correct something? He is not your witness. We summoned him as a committee to...
Well guided.
Yes.
Withdrawn.
So he is not your witness. Be guided accordingly.
So, Chair, the witness being the committee's witness to help us meet the objective of Section 33, Council cannot then purport to immune him. Because when I'm then questioning him, I'm questioning him as a witness provided to me by the Senate, not as the governor. And he's here to help the Senate look into the matter. So Council has no ability of objecting when I'm actually cross-examining him. And I know he's a well-grounded practitioner. He knows the rules of cross-examination.
Mr. Ndegwa, let's concentrate on the real issue and avoid the sideshows. Huh?
Hamfel, sorry, I'm looking at Hamfel Limited. When was that company incorporated? If you know, say you know. If you don't know, say you don't know.
I can check. I don't know, Fred.
Okay. Did you provide a professional opinion in respect to that company?
Yes, I did.
Was it within your power and jurisdiction to confirm all those details?
Yes, it
Did you confirm?
Yes, I did.
I then put it to you that the company was incorporated on 28th December 2017. What do you say?
It was incorporated in 2017. However, it is
Do you have?
under the preference, and it's an AGPO company.
It's
So
an
it was
AGPO
given-
company. Let's go to the tender. Was that tender a reserved tender or an open tender? Go to the
From
tender document.
It was an open tender.
It was an open tender, not reserved for AGPO, correct?
Correct.
So I catch you. Let's move on. Look at the same annexure. Annexure 10I. Annexure 10I. On Annexure 10I, Honorable Senators, I want us to look at page 14 of that annexure. Page 14 of that annexure. What is the recommendation of the Evaluation Committee?
From the foregoing evaluation, the evaluation committee recommends bid number 37, Hamfield Limited, having submitted the lowest responsive evaluated bid, be considered for the award of tender for supply and delivery of assorted UPVC.
Yes,
pipes for
of how
Kenya
much?
At a total cost of 5,421,000.
I'm okay with that. Move on to page 15.
I'm there, concerned.
Who is the chair of the Evaluation Committee?
Pauline Kamau.
Pauline Kamau. Who appointed Pauline Kamau? Move on to Annexure 10H.
I'm there.
Yes. Who appointed Pauline Kamau?
The Chief Officer, Finance, Accounting.
Chief Officer?
Finance.
Finance. Confirm to us that there was a substantive chief officer in charge of what at that particular time?
There was.
Good. Karilas.
Yes, Council.
As I sum up, I want to put it to you that you have lied before this committee that Pauline participated in only 2 tenders from earlier submissions.
Chair, I want to clarify that. I'm not a liar. I explained it is a evaluation committee meeting. And one appointment can have several tenders in it. So I clearly said evaluation committee meetings. Cancel.
So what exactly are you saying? Are you saying that Pauline did not participate in the 2 tenders as you said, and that our evidence shows you that she participated in several tenders? And that those tenders she participated in are questionable?
Chair, through the chair, just rephrase your question, Council.
Are you rebutting or are you leaving your earlier statement that Pauline participated in several tenders as opposed to your previous proposition?
Pauline participated in evaluating several tenders.
Oh, marvelous. I take that. Mr. Karilas.
I think now your time is up.
Chairman, you've been brilliant to me. I'm humbled and most obliged.
Thank you. I will invite Mr. Nyamodi to do re-examination. You are supposed to use 5 minutes. Do you have any request?
No, not until the red light comes on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. 5 minutes, Mr. Nyamodi.
I have only 2 questions for you on my part. The first, you had said that you were able to read the motion when preparing your responses. The motion that has brought us here today, it is against who?
The governor of Kirinyaga County.
From the questions that you have been asked by my learned friend Ndegwa, is there any question that you have been asked touching on the governor in person?
To the best of my knowledge so far, no.
Now, I want you to look at folder number 047 for tender 047. That is on for velocity. Let me just call it velocity so that I don't struggle with pronunciation problems.
Yes, I'm there.
Then for 47, and I want you to look at the exhibit marked as D. That is a tender document.
Yes, I'm there.
I want you to go to page 12 of our tender document, and more particularly to clause 2.20.3.
Yes, I'm there.
And I want you to look at, just read that provision, and I want you to tell us, from your reading of that provision, do the errors concerning the typos of the name, do they go to the root of the award of a tender? And are they errors that are curable based on that document? Just that.
Chair, I can confirm that the errors made are, to the best of my knowledge so far, immaterial. Because, as I mentioned earlier, that yes, there might be typos, but however, the most important and crucial document, starting from the professional opinion, actually captured that error.
So from that provision, there is discretion to overlook those kind of errors, isn't that?
To the best of my knowledge, Chair, yes.
Based on the tender document itself?
Based on the tender document itself.
Thank you very much.
Karilas, is whether or not you have a current practicing certificate as a procurement professional an issue in the impeachment of Governor Waiguru?
Sorry? Just
is whether or not you have a practicing certificate to practice supply chain management or procurement an issue in this impeachment?
To the best of my knowledge, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's not.
All right. Now, in respect of the allegations in the petition for EVA Trading Agencies Limited, I just want you to have a look at the motion again quickly and tell me whether there is anything in that or in the allegations there that would require you to respond with a copy of an AGPO certificate. Look at page 7, paragraph Roman 5, 6, and 7 on the next page. Is there anything that would require you to respond with an AGPO certificate?
Sorry, through the chair.
Of the motion. Page 7 at the top, Roman 5, 6, and 7. The allegations in respect of Eva Trading Agencies Limited.
I don't think I have. Through the chair, maybe council show me.
Those are the allegations in respect of Eva Trading. Just have a look at them and tell the committee whether there's anything in them that would require you to produce an AGPO certificate.
Chair, I can confirm there is no requirement to produce a certificate.
In respect of Hamfel, in respect of Hamfel Limited, in the notice of motion or in the motion there is an allegation that it was incorporated on a particular date. But is there any proof, is there any evidence that was attached to that motion to evidence the date when that company was incorporated?
Through the chair, I didn't see any.
The other clarification I'd like you to make is in respect of the appointment of evaluation committees. Do they evaluate just one tender or do they evaluate several tenders?
Through the chair, they evaluate several tenders. And if we put into perspective this particular financial year, the budgets actually were the county government. I joined the county government in February, and the budgets were actually passed, I think, in June, but I can confirm. So we were looking at a scenario where I'm coming into a county government, and they haven't even procured, especially the development so far. So what we did, we summed up so that we take the shortest time to ensure that procurement process is done well and within the law, of course. There were so many tenders advertised. If you look at the advert document in one of those documents, we have almost more than 40 tenders. So, Council, if I may go back to your question, that clearly shows that one appointed evaluation committee can evaluate a number or several tenders within one appointment letter, and that was the case, especially in that financial year.
Chairman, I note that my time is up. May I plead for maybe 3 minutes?
Yeah, I'll grant you 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chair. Carilas, the next question is, can an AGPO company bid in an open tender? Are they excluded or precluded from taking part in open tenders?
To the chair, I can confirm AGPO can bid.
And then how do you evaluate joint venture bids?
Chair, joint venture bids are evaluated as a consortium and not as one. It is looked at the consortium in that joint evaluation bid. So qualifications and experiences of that particular entity is looked at as a joint venture.
Okay, so the qualification or the ability of each member of the joint venture counts towards the final score?
Yes, each member counts, and that's why they add the credibility by teaming up.
The spelling mistakes that my learned colleague asked you about, I will ask, and this is a bit of a repetition, are they material?
Chair, to the best of my knowledge, they are not material.
Are they purposely done for the purposes of some sinister purpose?
I can confirm here, it is not done with any sinister purpose.
Oh. In the appointment of tender evaluation committees, does the governor play any role?
Chair, the governor doesn't play any
Chair,
role.
just for your directions, whether council can, in evidence, lead a witness in a re-examination. Because the question that he's asking are leading questions.
I think we made that direction yesterday and agreed that during re-examination, we may not require leading questions, right?
Chairman, with this witness, you know, sometimes it's difficult to find out who he is. Yes, he has come from the county government, but he has come from the county government and he's also summoned in respect of, he's summoned in respect, he's summoned by the committee at the request of the assembly. So there is evidence that he has given that seems adverse. And because it seems adverse, then it can only be tested by way of cross-examination.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's a delicate balance, considering that we have, he's putting on two hats.
At the same time.
At the same time. So
I hear you, only that then council cannot purport or cannot seem to be having his cake and eating it. When it suits him, is okay. When I cross-examine vigorously, he owns the witness.
I think Mr. Ndego, I gave you that opportunity to juggle both ways. So I will also give Mr. Nyamodi the same privilege to juggle both ways. But I don't think you are within the borders of the case. So I think your request has been overruled.
Well guided.
Thank you.
Does the governor play any role in the appointment of those committees and their evaluation of the tenders?
Chair, the governor doesn't play any role.
Chairman, we have just 2 more questions for the witness.
Mr. Karilas, very quickly, you've been taken through a long cross-examination on several contracts. Is there, and now I am taking advantage of that delicate balance that, Chair, you talked about, is there in any of those allegations any allegation that there was a loss to the county government?
Chair, there was any loss to the county government.
Is there any allegation in those contracts, in those questions, that there was failure of performance in any of those contracts?
Chair, I can confirm there is no failure in performance, and actually one company there called the one which got the Amfield Limited, Kenera, was actually the first people to actually deliver the project, was one of the best performers in that financial year, and during a meeting he was even accorded that kind of information.
And finally, is there any allegation that any of those contracts are overpriced or are not performed?
Chair, there is no single issue of overpricing in the entire.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I think that your time is up. I will now take this opportunity to welcome my colleagues. Honorable Senators, do you have any clarifications you need to seek? I will start with my good friend, Honorable Moses Kajwang.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wish to thank the witness for being candid. I wish to draw your attention to page 73, which contains your statement. I hope you are looking at it. Particularly, 17613. Are we on the same page? Page 73, that contains a witness statement?
Yes.
Where there's a table down there. You said in your statement that payments were done after ascertaining that work was done and thus justified blah, blah, blah. That's correct?
That's correct, 100%.
So let's look at page 74, where you've given a breakdown of the invoices and payments for the project management, monitoring, and evaluation systems. Could you confirm when the last payment was done for that system?
For the system of hospital management.
No. The PMS, the project management system.
The last payment was done on the 16th 8th, 2018.
16th of August, 2018. That was final payment, full delivery of the project.
Yes, that was full delivery of the project.
When was the user acceptance test done for the PMS?
Honorable Senator, I can't remember the exact.
It is there in your statement. You have talked of Annexure 12E, copy of signed off user acceptance testing.
Honorable Senator, if I can get, I can
On the
get
same
exact
page,
date.
page 74.
On page 73, you've referred to Annexure 12E, even though in your pack, I think it is 12Q. 12Q, copy of user acceptance test.
Yes, Honorable.
12Q.
Yes.
When was UAT done? It's there on 12Q.
The UAT was signed off on the 20th October 2018.
20th October 2018. Yet payment in full was done on 16th of August 2018. What comes first, payment in full or UAT?
Honorable Senator, UAT comes first.
So you paid in full before UAT was signed off for the PMS?
Honorable Senator, that's not the case. Maybe.
That's the evidence that we have. You have said that payments were done after work was verified, after the UAT. You have attached the UAT certificate, which comes a month or so after payment was done in full. Takes me back to the question by Wakili Kamodho. Would this then bring about a case of loss of public funds? If you're paying in full before you have gotten certification of the work?
Honorable Senator, in that scenario, yes.
Okay, back to the hospital management system. The contract for the two was signed on the same day and executed by the same parties because it was the same company doing the work, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Whether it's Velocity or Velocity.
Yes, Honorable
But
Senator.
the two were signed on the same day.
Yes, Honorable Senator.
When was UAT done for the hospital management system? The UAT for outpatient module? It's there on page 73, you've listed it.
The second UAT for the hospital management system was signed off on 5th December 2018.
How many months down the line? You could easily say 18 months.
Yes, so to say.
There was a witness who said that the hospital management software does not exist. From a user perspective, from an end user perspective, if UAT was done 18 months ago, wouldn't that witness be right to say that the system does not exist? Because the system only exists when it is presented to the users.
Honorable Senator, the system actually does exist, and it is still ongoing for the implementation. is still ongoing.
18 months later, you've done UAT, the first UAT, then 18 months you've kept it in the cooler. And so when the assembly says that the system does not exist, how would they know which compartment of the cooler that system has been kept?
Honorable Senator, if I can respond to that, I think the issue which is coming out is there was a delay, a substantial delay of around 18, so to say, months.
Could it be, going back to Wakili Kamotho's question, that there was failure in performance?
No, Honorable Senator.
There was no failure in performance?
There was no failure in performance.
If UAT has been going on for 18 months?
I can confirm that the process of customization is the one which took quite a bit of time. Because if you look at that process, we also faced at a particular time when we had issues with the Kirigoa Hospital, among others, the doctor strike. And the
Okay,
people,
so there are various reasons.
there are various reasons.
And
to
what
the delay.
percentage has been paid for the hospital management system? You can quickly add the 10, 30, and 20. Yeah.
Sorry,
It's
the
on page
percentage
73.
is 60%.
So 60% paid, 18 months later, system has not been delivered. The charge against the governor was that the governor is running a corrupt county tendering policy. In all this, what was the involvement of the governor? Was she involved at any point in the hospital management system or in the PMS, procurement, testing, utilization, tender? Where is her footprint in this?
Honorable Senator, the governor did not participate in the tendering process, and to the best of my knowledge, where she comes into with is on the implementation more.
So the people who paid before UAT was done, those people should carry their own cross.
Yes, I can confirm that, Honorable Senator.
Finally,
However,
finally, Chair, on this issue of
Are you
trade.
one of those people who should carry their own cross?
no,
Can I
Chair.
just make an important intervention? And I'm sorry to have to make a break here.
Yes.
And because it's an important issue, we are looking for the original UAT documents to be clear that this is not an issue of the wrong year indicated, because it would not be possible to have the software delivery media and the first payment made in 2019, and then the second payment made in August 2018. That is not possible. So I think the reality is that those two final columns which say 16th August 2018 and 16th August 2018 are 2019. But I don't want to confirm that. What we'd want is to get the files confirmed, because it's an important issue. Because if it means that these payments were made before delivery, that goes to fraud. So we are just asking that on that point, we just check the actual documents and confirm the position.
Senator, may I have my voice on that? Because my teacher, Mr. Kamodho, is quite aware that in any proceedings, a party is bound by its pleadings. And this is a house of procedure. We cannot then start asking, when questions are asked, exposing the issues that the county assembly is complaining about, then all of a sudden he realizes that the document he brought fixes the case. I think we must stick to one lane. Parties must be bound by their evidence. They must be bound by their pleading. I had the most of opportunities to appear before Senator Judge Madzayo. He would confirm that he would not allow any party to bring or to sneak documents. Parties must be bound by their pleadings, and these are the pleadings that we have. It is not our pleadings. They actually brought them. It is his testimony. Unless you want to recapitulate that.
Thank you.
Just clarify something, Chair. We are not, this document is a schedule prepared. It is not an extract of a document. It's an extract. So mistakes can occur. And because Bwana said it's a fact-finding mission, why would you have a problem in looking for the primary documents?
But who extracted
Thank
the
you.
documents? The
Order.
county assembly or the
Order.
governor?
Order. I will rule as follows. First, Mr. Kamodho, this is your document. You are the one who supplied us with this document, and therefore we will want to consider it as it is. But if you feel that you want to make supplementary submissions and clarify on the same, you are free to do that. But what Mr. Ndego is raising, I think it is valid. We will want to proceed with concerns raised by the senators. So,
Chair, with your kind permission,
yes.
allow me to place this into proper context. That my teacher, Mr. Kamodho, has been allowed to bring documents that do not form part of the proceedings. If that then is the position, we then need to go back how do we deal? What will be the
we haven't allowed him to bring.
Yeah, because
we've
he's
said
trying to sanitize the process. He's sanitizing the process with his documents.
No, we've said he has an opportunity later on to make maybe clarifications. Maybe through their closing remarks, they can clarify that maybe the dates were not put, and it's upon the committee now to make that determination. As to
Agreed,
whether
Chair.
we
I do not want to question your wisdom, only that will prejudice the case for the county assembly. How shall we rebut that preposition that shall be created at the submission
Mr. Ndegwa,
stage?
that will be a matter that will be determined by the committee.
Much
later
obliged.
on. Yeah. Senator Kajwang.
Chair, let me yield my time to my colleagues.
Yes. Honorable Michael Mbito, and then we go to Honorable Pareno Judith.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Karilas, as a procurement expert and director of procurement in Kirinyaga County, just tell me whether do you do any due diligence on companies before you award them a tender? Here I'm trying to talk like, for example, Velocity. Did you confirm that they had done similar jobs previously in order to find them fit to execute such a big contract, you know? And here, I'm hoping you will not be looking at them hanging on to a very experienced company in the name of a joint venture, yet they have absolutely no experience on any similar. Secondly, please tell me also that in Kirinyaga County, because I've looked at so many of your contracts, I've looked at the tenders here, and are you aware that a company, before undertaking a contract, must furnish a performance bond? Do you have such a policy in Kirinyaga County? Because I've not seen, I'm yet to see even one single performance bond being furnished to protect the procuring entity. Because you seem to be dealing with very new companies whom you're engaging and probably even paying them advance money without knowing, without having the people of Kirinyaga protected, yeah, in terms of performance bond. And you've also told us here about Pauline Kamau having chaired just 2 evaluation committees, one in 2017-2018, one in 2018-2019. What is the procedure? When somebody is appointed to chair an evaluation committee, there's an appointment letter. How come I've seen so many appointment letters, so many letters appointing Pauline into various committees, yet it is your statement that she has only sat in 2 evaluation committees? Please explain that to us. And finally, you have said that you do not have a practicing certificate. Please tell us why you don't have that certificate. Is there anything that has stopped you from having that practicing certificate in procurement? And secondly, without that certificate, can you sign a professional opinion? Are you allowed to sign a professional opinion? Those are my questions, Chair. Thank you.
Can you respond to those questions because they are?
Yes, Chair, I'd like so that I can dispense them off. Thank you, Honorable Senator. If I may start with the first question of the due diligence. Yes, I can confirm to this committee, we do undertake due diligence before we go to award contracts. However, due diligence sometimes take different forms. We can do it from the office for actual visit to the premises of the bidder who is recommended for the award. And in this particular tender in question, I can confirm to this committee, I did the due diligence in actually two forms. The first one is through the demonstration, which was held at the county headquarters, where all the bidders who had proceeded to the financial evaluation stage were given an opportunity to come and present to the county government first their company and the relevant experiences, and to confirm that the proposals they had submitted actually reflect the true position of the same. And thereafter, they were subjected to presentation of the software that they intend to deliver to the county government. So, Chair, I can confirm as a procurement professional, I took this initiative to get facts that before award, this company is actually going to undertake the said contract and effectively. So, to the best of my knowledge, the company, the software, the developer is actually Velocity, and having done quite a number of, I think 3 softwares, but I can confirm to various institutes of the same magnitude or capacity at the county government. So I can confirm due diligence was duly undertaken. On the issue of the performance bond, I can confer to this honorable committee that we do request for performance bond before signing of the contracts. However, not all tenders have performance bond as a requirement. It depends on the scope and the magnitude of the work. And I can confirm as county government of Kirinyaga, we usually take performance bond, and we have a whole file where we keep all the performance bond. 100%.
You have not shown us even one performance bond for these tenders that are being challenged by the county assembly. Can you show us even one for these tenders?
Chair, since they are domiciled in one file, I can avail one performance bond if given the time.
Okay, Senate, did you respond on the issue of the
meetings? On
the last issue Honorable Michael raised?
Kamau and your professional license.
Yes.
On Pauline Kamau, Honorable Senator, I just wish to reiterate what I said earlier, that these were based on appointment on evaluation committee meetings, where one appointment had several tenders in place. So I can confirm the reason why I had indicated as one, it means that it is one appointment letter, and if you can look across on the columns, it has the reference numbers. If you go to that particular appointment letter, you will clearly see all the tenders that particular committee was supposed to deliberate on. And the shape that we take our appointment letters is, as you have seen, everyone is listed there, but to save on paper and be economical on consumables, we usually put one letter and then just tick the relevant person, and it's delivered to that person so that it forms as a formal appointment letter.
Do you have a practicing license?
Currently, my practicing license is being validated at the Kenya Institute of Management, and I can give a reason to this as follows. I just saw the issue of the having procurement professionals having mandatory practicing certificate. To the best of my knowledge, to put on a year, it was last year, it's when it came. So everyone, including me, most professionals and including me, we took the initiative to apply for it. And I can give evidence of documents and receipts of money paid way back 6 months ago to kiss him for the said certificate. So the reason why it took some time is that I was still undergoing some qualifications, and I thought it will hold more weight if I had submitted this application together. But in between, I had paid, and I was in contact with Kissim, and truly I told them to hold on until I had some more so that I can get the certificate.
Well done. Senator.
So without a license, you can sign an opinion?
Without a license, I cannot sign an opinion, and once this came effective, my deputy also applied, and currently, she's the one who signs until I get mine, Honorable Chair.
Okay, Senator Pareno, then Senator Mshiro.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just a few issues for clarification. There was an allegation yesterday, and I'm happy that you were in attendance, that Wayne Gishira and Pauline Kamau kind of directly under the governor's office as personal almost staff, and that they are not supposed to be involved in things like tendering. That is one allegation that was one of the submissions by one of the witnesses. I wanted to hear from you, being the director of procurement, whether it is normal for them to whether it's allowed, because there was an indication that they are not allowed, being they are supposed to report to chief of staff, who chief of staff reports directly to governor, and we want to know whether they are allowed to now deal with tenders. That is one. Then the other one is a concern on this same Pauline Kamau. You have, when we were going through the documents and the files, Pauline Kamau chaired tenders and evaluation committees that dealt with waterworks for South Ngariama. Pauline Kamau chaired the one of Kagio Matatu parking works. Pauline Kamau chaired the one of assorted UPVC pipes of Kerera Water Project, that is Hamfill, and many others. Now, do you consider this, because this to me are different sittings. It's like it was not one sitting and you went through all this. They are different sitting, different days. And I don't know whether you consider this to be contradicting your position, which you gave us earlier in your statement, that actually Pauline Kamau only chaired one in 2018 and another one in 2019. So I want to hear whether that is a contradiction or you have something to say about that. Then finally, Chair, on this velocity and velocity, it is even becoming more complicated now, because I have seen your statement, and I want you to look at your statement, page 38. From page 38 of this document that contains your statement, are you there? Yes, down there, allegation raised as number 10, and the second last line, and you say, this is your statement, and you say, starting with re-advertised and awarded to Velocity Partners Limited at a cost of 50 million. This is now your statement. And this velocity that you refer to is actually the velocity with CIT. And then the next page, that is 39, you again go ahead, the first line there, County Government of Kirinyaga and Velocity Partners Limited in the month of May 2018. Again, you refer to velocity as velocity with CITY. Then down there again, Roman 1, vide an invoice dated 9th August 2018, amount invoice totaling to cash 30 million and something was paid on the same day of the invoice to Velocity. Again, Velocity with CITI. Then again, the next paragraph, that the total amount paid to Velocity Partners, again Velocity with CITY. But then now you contradict yourself in the next paragraph. The subheading is response to allegations, where you say in Roman number 2, the company name is Velocity Partners Limited and not Velocity Partners Limited, and was in existence at the time the tender was advertised, as it's incorporated on 5th May 2017. And you go on even at Roman 3 to again mention management system, which were awarded to Velocity with CITY. Why all this confusion, looking at what you produced earlier as a certificate of incorporation, that shows that actually there is a registration of velocity without an I. But in all your statement, almost the 2 pages of your statement that I've referred to, I've not gone to the rest of the statements, you refer to the wrong velocity if it was a typo. I want a clarification on that. Thank you, Chair.
You may respond to those questions, and then we move to Senator Abshiro.
To the Chair, thank you so much, Honorable Pareno. On to the first question about Wayne Gishira and Pauline. To the best of my knowledge, these are not personal stuff to the governor, to me, because when I go to the county government, there is the HR which gives the list of the organogram, so to say. And as a procurement professional, I applied the regulations with regards to appointment of evaluation committees to recommend to the accounting officer the composition of the same. Pursuant to the relevant regulation, it is clearly indicated that the composition should be from at least 3 departments, and the secretary to that meeting, the procurement professional. It further says that 2 other departments, apart from the user department, have to be have to be nominated in order to be part and parcel of the evaluation committee. And it is said that the accounting officer may appoint heads of user departments to these said evaluation committees, but again goes ahead and says, or they are representatives. As my capacity as a director, supply chain management, I recommended the names for the composition of, which include Wayne and Pauline, because Pauline is actually a head of a department, that is director administration. And significantly, Wayne Gishira also equally holds a relevant position as an ICT advisor, which is the same as the director ICT in terms of job group. So if you look at these requirements, then they meet the threshold of being appointed in evaluation committees, and not as personal staff to the governor, but because of the responsibilities they hold within the county government. So I can confirm they are allowed, to the best of my knowledge and to the facts that are presented, to be part and parcel of evaluation committees. On to the second question about the tenders and the relevant appointment letters and the relevant evaluation committees. I wish to clarify to this honorable committee chair that I didn't know that that table can be interpreted in another way. But so far what I meant by that table is, if you look at the farthest end of the column, it has a reference number. That reference number is a reference number to an appointment letter. That appointment letter has several tenders to evaluate, which includes the tenders you mentioned, Honorable Senator. So yes, the tenders are undertaken one by one, but we had one appointment letter, and also I wish to draw you back to my previous justification that this particular financial year, we had to really think outside the box and ensure that public money is spent wisely and within the law, and that by the end of the financial year, we should show the people of the people of Kirinyaga that we didn't return money. So we had one appointment letter having several evaluation committees. However, they were done separately. On the issue of velocity and velocity, as honorable senator has put it across. I wish to respond as follows also. I want to admit that there is that typo still reflected there, but to just justify why, or probably the reason why it is there, so that within the relevant provision we can seek leniency or something else. It is that the document was drawn by our legal team, and probably they might have also captured that error, but I can confirm, Chair, to this honorable committee, that is something which we overlooked, probably because of the time and the volumes of document. But just to be on record, the actual company which should be referred in my statement is Velocity with CTY at the end, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Is that okay, Honorable Pareno? Honorable Vice Chair.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you, Carolus. I think a lot of the questions I had on my notebook have been asked by other senators and answered. When did you join the Kirinyaga government? When exactly did you join?
13th February of 2018.
February 2018. My question then relates to the health information management system that was procured. And we were told yesterday by one of the witnesses that there was actually, or there is even now, a national government health information management system that counties could have taken advantage of. Are you aware of that? And what were the reasons for which you opted to go ahead with the procurement? If that was there, because I just want to crosswalk and cross-check with the witness that was before you. Let me just finish all of them. And also there was, obviously there seemed to be quite a number of errors with regards to the velocity and the velocity issue. And at that point you have assured this committee that that is really not of material significance and that it's a typo error. Are you confirming that, and that you said that there's discretion to overlook it? Whose discretion is it to overlook it? Yours? Or the accounting office? I'd like to know whose discretion was it, and in this case, is this just coming to your attention now that you're presenting here, or is that something that came to your attention, but you took the discretion to overlook it?
To the Chair, thank you, Honorable Vice Chair. On to the first question about the National Hospital Management System. As a capacity of the Director of Supply Chain Management, I have the responsibility to also, for lack of a better word, do due diligence on requisitions from user departments. So this was one clear example of the same. There was the budget which was passed, approved budget. There was a requisition emanating from the Chief Officer, Health, at that particular time. So what I did, since it was in the media and it was in public domain, that the national government had an intention of implementing a national hospital management system which is supposed to be deployed to the various counties. When I went to further get the details with regards to that particular information, at that particular time, the information I got is so far was that the software itself, it was still in the initial stage. It was like an idea supposedly supposed to be deployed, and we had a need at the county for a hospital management system. So we just agreed that in case even national comes with the software, we had indicated to the service provider that it should be able to be readily to integrate with the national system, if in case, or any other system, so to say. So that's why I took the responsibility to proceed on with the procurement of the same system. On number 2, Honorable Chair and the rest of the Honorable Committee, I wish to regret the fact that the velocity with an I and velocity with an Y is emanating to become an issue. But as a professional and a professional with high integrity, let me make it clear, and it can be on the record, that the correct company is Velocity with CTY. And I didn't overlook it. The mention of material was whether that issue, when I realized it at the professional opinion stage, warranted me to cancel the entire tender and restart. So I looked at it as material, and I confirmed earlier through the chair that that was corrected by the very relevant, pertinent documents, which are the award, the acceptance, and the contract document. However, I wish to reiterate, I apologize on behalf of the rest, even on the statement, the I is still there, but I regret it. But I confirm it's Velocity with CTY, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable members, we are remaining with exactly 15 minutes. So I'll accept only one question per person because we need to prepare this chamber for the afternoon session. So I'll go
Chair, could I propose humbly through you, because we as senators have taken quite substantial time, that when you're counting the time for the governor's defense, you find a way of making good the long time we have taken, so that we don't, we don't put them at a disadvantage, but it also allows senators to probe the particulars of the allegations.
Well advised, Honorable Kajwang. That is well considered. Honorable Mpayae. So if we can use 2 minutes or 3 minutes per person, so that we try and wind up before 12:30.
Thank you, Chair. I have 2 questions and just a clarification. I want a clarification on an issue that has come up, like for you to be awarded a tender, for a company to be awarded a tender, a certain person must be a chairman of the evaluation committee. I would like to know why. The second one is, you being the director of supply chain management, do you agree that there are procurement flows? And the final one is, a question that was raised yesterday by my friend Kajwang on conflict of interest. We noted that a brother to the Chief Officer, Finance, Mugondadi, was or have been awarded contracts. Could it be what the Assembly was saying, like conflict of interest? And if yes, what action has the governor taken on the issue to ensure that the officers in her government are not doing business in the government they serve? Thank you.
I will take Senator Lloyd Tip question, then you'll answer collectively.
Okay, thank you so much, Chair. And also thank you, Mr. Joseph Karilas Otieno, who happens to be the Director of Supply and Chain Management. I've heard you briefly speaking about your responsibility as the head of Supply and Chain Management, who oversees the entire disposal. True or false? True. And definitely in your professional, you know the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, right? True. If I read it for you quickly, due to the constraint of time, in section 66, it's on Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, it states, corrupt, coercive, obstructive, or collusive or fraudulent practices, conflict of interest. Under subsection 1, it states, a person to whom this act applies shall not be involved in any corrupt, coercive, obstructive, collusive, or fraudulent practice or conflicts of interest in any procurement or asset disposal proceedings. Subsection 8, it states, for the purposes of this section, a person has a conflict of interest with respect to a procurement if the person or relative of the person, -A, seeks or has a direct or indirect pecuniary interest in other persons who seeks or contrary of the procurement. Lastly, B, owns or has a right in any property or has a direct or indirect pecuniary interest that results in the private interest of the person conflicting with his duties with the respect to the procurement. My question is, are you aware of a chief officer known as Joseph Ndathi Gichobi, who happens to be a brother to Edwin Gichobi Ndathi? My question is Pauline Kamau and Edwin Gichobi Ndathi business associate and political associate? Thank you so much.
Carilas, you may consider to answer those two. And then lastly, I'll give Honorable Beth Mugo and, of course, my good friend, retired judge, Honorable Mazayo will wind up. You may proceed. Carilas, you may use the dispatch box.
Through the chair, Honorable Senator, if I got your question right, that certain persons seem to chair evaluation committees. Through the chair, I didn't get it correctly, so.
My question was, when a chair, for someone to be awarded a tender, a certain person, maybe Pauline, must be a chair of that evaluation committee for a certain company to be awarded a tender. That was my question.
Thank you so much, Honorable Senator. According to my practice, we don't pick or we don't recommend or consult on chairpersons by who they know, how well they know me or whoever, but with the relevant qualification with regards to that particular tender. So with regards to this financial year, you may see that Pauline Kamau and Wayne Gishira actually chaired quite a number of evaluation committees. But again, I want to refer back to my earlier justification. Remember, this particular financial year, most of the procurement started in February. So definitely we had to, within the law, ensure that procurement is done timely. So that is why you can see Gishira having quite a number of tenders to evaluate, chairing, that is, and Pauline on the same. But it was never appointed on favorism or who knows what.
Make your responses brief, kindly.
So, okay. On to the second question on public procurement flaws, as I said earlier, I hold a lot of integrity. I don't allow such, and so I confirm there's no flaws in county government of Kirinyaga. And the issue of the conflict of interest, again, just for justification purposes, I refer you to the year 2017-2018, where I joined in February 2018. It was very hard for me to know even who is who. So I knew Pauline Kamau as a director of administration and Wayne Gishira as ICT advisor.
Good.
On to the other one, Honorable Senator.
Yeah. On Chair, the part B of the question he has not answered.
Okay.
On what action has the governor taken to ensure that the officers in our government are not doing business in the government they serve?
Through the chair, to the best of my knowledge, I may not know what the governor's action, but I can say my action now that I'm quite conversant or I've settled in well in the county government of Kirinyaga. So it is my initiative to implement such, but about the governor, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the actions, especially at this time.
That's okay.
On to the next one is on section 66, Honorable Senator. Again, just as I've responded to the fellow senator, it was very hard for me to know who is related to who interests in business. So I was just objectively awarding and recommending awarding of procurement process as I see the facts.
Is that all?
Chair.
Senator Mazayo?
Chair, that's not all. He has not answered my second question, and was very precise on that. I've asked him simply, is he aware of the conflict of interest of Pauline Kamau and the brother of Chief Officer known as Edwin Gichobindadi? Are they political and business associate? Yes.
Through, Honorable Senator.
Yes
thanks.
or no? You can take it.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
You are binded.
Retired judge? We have less than 10 minutes, kindly.
Thank you, Chair. Mine will be very, very short questions. It was your evidence that you have not signed any of those professional opinions except to allow your deputy to do so. You stated that.
Yes, currently.
Yes. But incidentally, we have noticed so many recommendations in these files. All these recommendations are opinions so that the tender can be awarded. Or you recommend them to the chief finance, I don't know, chief officer or something. Is that the position? You've recommended and signed some of these tender documents.
That's the correct position, Honorable Senator.
Now, let me ask you, is recommendation a professional opinion?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay. And finally, every society, every profession has its own society, like the Law Society of Kenya. I believe all the very senior counsels sitting behind you belong to the Law Society of Kenya. You stated that for some reason or another, you're still getting your papers and you have paid for your practicing certificate, but you've told them to wait a bit so that you can finish up tying up your papers. Is that the position?
That is the position, Honorable Senator, but I may wish to clarify more.
Have you paid the amount required or stipulated in your society for you to acquire a practicing certificate?
Honorable Senator, yes, I did pay the required amount to the professional body.
Is it possible for you to ask the society to stop issuing, wait a bit, I finish up my certain subjects, so that once I'm through, I get those papers, I come back to you? Would I do the same when I go to my society, like the Law Society of Kenya? Is it possible for you to stop the society from issuing after you have paid? I would even demand that I get that practicing certificate. If they're delaying it, I would ask them, why are you delaying and I've paid? Why have you've told them to wait, to hang on after you've paid? And this year is running now, we are running June. June is almost over, we're getting to July. You're still making recommendations. You're treading very dangerously in this matter. That's my submission. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I would like to give Honorable Githiomi. I was not seeing him because of the mask, but I will give him an opportunity to say something. But I'll want to remind honorable senators that the person who is on trial is one Ann Mumbi Waiguru. and not the witnesses. The questions you're asking should connect to one Anne Mumbi Waiguru and not the witness. The witnesses, we will use our House committees to interrogate them in another forum, but not this one. Honorable Gidiomi, lastly.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I have a problem with TEDA 046 and TEDA 047. The information we have is that the TEDAs were supposed to be awarded to those who had registered their companies 5 years before, or even more than 5 years before. But it is clear here that the TEDAs were awarded to Velocity. Velocity was registered in 2017, the year 2017, and the TEDAs were awarded in the year 2018. Why did you have this kind of thing? Because this makes me believe that there is somebody that he wanted to award the TEDAs. And that is why you could not even remember that this company had only been registered a year earlier, not 5 years and more.
Chair, Honorable Senator, thank you. This is my response. As I said earlier, this tender, and particularly Velocity, had bidded both tenders as a joint venture. And the joint venture they entered was with COM21, which is incorporated in the year 2000. So for purposes of such tenders, or so to say implementation, we usually encourage teaming, just in case we get to improve the qualification and the experience, because we are dealing with the software. So the two heads are better, the more the merrier, but within the qualification. So I can respond that I duly recommended the award for this particular tender on the basis that it was bidded as a joint venture.
So was the award, did you award as a joint venture or individually as Velocity?
Chair, I awarded individually as Velocity because one of the clauses in the agreement is written that Velocity will be the contractual, main contractual and lead partner.
So while considering the prerequisites of the tender, you used the qualifications of a joint venture, but at the point of awarding, you separated it and awarded it as an individual company, right?
Right, Chair.
Okay.
Chair, I really I cannot settle for that answer because it's so clear. You are the one. We were told by the witness here that whoever the contractor that was going to be awarded this tender must have been registered 5 years before the award of the tender. And I think this is why we also have a complication of Pauline, of this Pauline who is chairing most of the tenders, and also Daddy, who is a brother to the finance officer, and consequently being awarded the tenders because of their relationship. So I can see some issue here that is not working out. Come out, tell us that Velocity was awarded because of this and this reason. Don't hide in the other thing that you're hiding in.
Respected Honorable Senator, I am not hiding, and I want it to be on record. I'm not hiding anything. I am expressing or responding as my capacity as a professional. And again, just to go back, I was still new this time. I didn't know Velocity, Pauline, and everyone. So I was objectively undertaking my work with an objective mind. Just to clarify, Honorable, that I'm not hiding, and so far, that's how I awarded that tender, basically because of the joint venture.
Senator Kajwang, do you have a supplementary?
Chair, thank you for your indulgence. I think this should not take more than a minute. South Ngariama Water Project, which was awarded to Eva Trading at a cost of 11.9 million. Who recommended members of the evaluation committee?
I did, Honorable.
Who
Senator.
appointed members of the evaluation committee?
The accounting officer. Honorable
Which is
Senator.
Chief Officer?
Finance.
Called?
Patrick Mugo.
Patrick Mugo. Who chaired the committee, evaluation committee subsequently? Should have been Pauline, I think, from your record.
Yes, Honorable, yes.
Who signed the letter of award?
The accounting officer, who is Patrick Mugo.
Who signed the contract on behalf of the county?
The accounting officer, that is Chief Officer Finance, Honorable Senator.
And the bid was won by Eva Trading. In your recommendation, you listed the directors of Eva Trading. There was one Jackson Daddy with 100 shares, who we were told yesterday is a brother to the chief officer.
Yes, Honorable. I was told.
I'm just trying to, because there needs to be Chinese walls between accounting officers and people who bid in counties. And in your submission, because I'm looking at your statement, you have conveniently referred to Section 55 rather than Section 66 of the Public Procurement and Assets Disposal Act, where you are saying that related parties would be wife or child. But it is further expanded in Section 66, where it extends to brothers and parents, etc. If indeed, and I'm not saying it has happened, if indeed the Assembly was to prove that this tender was awarded to the brother of the Chief Officer Finance, in your view, would that constitute a breach of the regulations? It has. I'm not saying it has been proven in my mind, but if it was to be proven, would that be a breach?
Honorable Senator, definitely that will be a breach.
So in this network, where you are recommending and someone chairs and someone signs letters of awards, and it seems to be a network, where is the governor in this? Because the charge against the governor is that she has implemented a corrupt county tendering policy. So is it a policy that relatives will get jobs, or this would be treated as a one-off?
There is no policy, Honorable Senator, with regards to such.
Such that if there were infractions of the law, then it would be at the level of the officers involved.
Honorable Senator, I won't agree that per se, and I wish to just mention, according to my capacity as the head supply chain management, yes, it is now coming out, and I agree with that, but as my capacity as head supply chain management, and bearing in mind of that particular time, I couldn't get such information. But however, to respond to your clarification whether the governor has appointed a corrupt tendering policy, I wouldn't agree to that, because so far, as I know, as my capacity, I wouldn't agree to that as my capacity, and there's no such policy.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Lastly, Mr. Otieno, in your introductory remarks, you alluded that you were here yesterday and you had witnesses testifying on various issues. Were you here when the chairperson of the County Public Service Board was testifying?
Yes, Chair, I was here.
Are you aware of the appointment, the controversial appointment of one Pauline?
Chair, now I'm aware.
Is it the same Pauline that is controversially mentioned in these evaluation committees?
Yes, I can confirm it is the same.
So is it a deliberate and well-orchestrated chain connecting events from a controversial appointment to now a further controversial appointment to chair certain and specific evaluation tender committees, which will eventually give specific companies tenders? So is it a web? Is it a web that is well orchestrated to achieve a certain goal in Kirinyaga County government?
Through, and sorry, Chair, I wish to respond as follows. I, as a professional and as a head supply chain management, if, as a my capacity as a current one, if I start inclining to such web or network, definitely I couldn't be standing here. Maybe I could be somewhere else in other investigative body. So I wish to clearly respond as follows, Chair. I'm not aware of a web. I'm not aware of a network. And my capacity then as a head supply chain was actually ended once I knew Pauline Kamau is a director administration. But all the other underlying factors, I can honestly say I'm not aware.
So you are alluding to this committee, you are just a member of a food web, but you do not know those other people.
Chairman, I won't agree to that.
That is well put. I want to give you 30 seconds or 1 minute to give your valedictory remarks. Conclusion, you will say anything?
Thank you so much, Chair, and the entire honorable committee members. I wish to conclude as follows. That, number one, all the information I have said and I have submitted, they are truth and nothing than the truth. Number two, I wish to draw your attention also to my previous experiences. My first employment was at the National Treasury, where I worked until the year 2018, actually. I hold a lot of experiences and qualification through my years, and I want to tell this honorable committee that, yes, there might be some issues which look glaring, but if you dig through the facts, then you'll find the plain truth. And lastly, thank you, everyone, and I'm here to see more, but you objectively look at it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Otieno.
Yes.
Carilas.
Yes, Chair. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much for your valuable time with us. Honorable members, I think in the interest of time, we will not be able to proceed with the other witnesses. We shall defer them to the afternoon session. However, I have got a ruling to make. Remember, at the beginning of this session, the council representing Kirinyaga County Assembly made some application, and I would like to make a ruling on the application by the advocate for the County Assembly of Kirinyaga on production of original passport used for travel by Kirinyaga Governor, Her Excellency Anne Mumbi Waiguru, and whether she should be taken to stand over the same. I direct as follow. Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that on 23rd June 2020, that was yesterday, upon request by the Council for the County Assembly, this special committee directed that the Council for the Governor do provide clear copies of the passports, and the same be copied to the Clerk of the Senate by the end of the day. That was yesterday. Honorable members, this morning, the Council for the County Assembly informed this Honorable Committee that the said copies of the passport had not been provided as directed by this committee, and he further applied that the said documents be supplied in original form. In response, Mr. Nyamudi, the counsel for the governor, handed over copies of the documents to the counsel for the county assembly, Mr. Ndegwa. The counsel for the assembly, however, honorable members, holds the copies of the documents provided were not clear and further requested that he be allowed to take the governor to the stand over the same issue. Having listened to the counsel for both parties, I want to direct as follows. One, as per the committee directions on 23rd, 2020, counsel for the governor were directed to provide clear copies of the passport and to the counsel of the assembly. Therefore, if the copies provided this morning are not clear, counsel for governor should forthwith provide clear copies of the documents to the satisfaction of this committee, not Mr. Ndegwa, to the satisfaction of this committee, because we don't want it to be a ping-pong game whereby you're given a document and you say it's not clear. So this committee will determine whether the documents are clear or not. The same may be provided in either soft copy or hard copies. On the issue of whether the governor should be taken to the stand over the copies of the passport, the committee notes that the county assembly never requested for the governor to be summoned to give evidence. It is also instructive to note that rules of fair hearing do not allow persons accused to be compelled to give evidence against themselves. This is also enshrined in our constitution that we promulgated in 2010, specifically under Article 52, Part 1, that provides every accused person has the right to a fair trial, which includes and not limited to the rights to remain silent, to testify, and not to testify, during the proceedings. The committee, therefore, honorable members, dismisses the request by the counsel for the county assembly. That being said, counsel for the county assembly may cross-examine the matter when the documents are uttered by a witness. The committee will take all these matters into consideration when it retreats to consider its report. Thank you.
We're most obliged by that judicious thinking.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman, for that ruling.
Good. Now lunch will be served. And lunch will be served for both parties where you've been having your holding rooms yesterday, yeah, in the county hall. Red Cross, Red Cross. And for honorable members, you will follow your chairman for your lunch. Thank you. May God bless you. So we reconvene at mini chamber at exactly 2 p.m. Thank you.